Hear me?
Hi.
Hi Felicia, good day. How you doing?
Hey everyone.
Hi,
Hey, hey.
Angie's. That's your name. Hope I get that right. Wayne.
Architect, okay?
Is Wayne there?
I'm good at this. Okay.
Guys, are you hearing me?
Yes, yes.
All right, guys. Welcome to another segment, another day of Anime Jam, and today, this morning, this evening. I think it's evening now over there in London. Good day to you all, and welcome to our lovely guests. All Nights, the All Nights team is there with us live this day.
Yeah, been fine, other than the rain.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, okay.
It's okay, Mr. McKenzie. You used to be you must have been a dancehall artist before. I get it.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm one of the directors because Felicia's a director as well. Agnes
Okay,
is pretty much a director as well, really.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm Wayne Riley, Felicia Mason, and then there's Agnes as well. And there's also two others, but they couldn't attend today. So there was Jess, Aqua Hayford, and then there was our other friend called Solomon Gamra, but they couldn't attend today.
Okay, awesome. Felicia, you wanna introduce yourself a little?
I'm also a director of all that, and pretty much, I'm also a colorist. So,
Is your mic on, Felicia?
It's because we're in the same room, but yeah.
Okay. That's good.
okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
For that echo.
Good.
So, so I'm a director, and I'm also a colorist. So I do a lot of color work as well, and I've done my own comic. So yeah, like we all have our own roles in All Knightz, but obviously we also are the directors too.
Awesome stuff. Angus?
So my role within the company is more so on the social media and marketing side of things. So
She's frozen.
Oh, she's frozen.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's frozen.
Yeah. Hold on, let's see what happens. I think maybe if I talk in the meantime or something, okay,
Yeah.
well, yeah, I don't want to say her part for her. I want her to do it herself. So,
Agnes,
now she's back. She's back.
Oh, she's back. Her time.
It's frozen. Say it again.
me?
Yeah. Say your part again because it froze when you was talking.
Cool. So my role was more so on the social media and marketing side of the business. So with the newsletters, our Facebook, Instagram, just keeping our followers up to date with what's happening within the All Knightz realm, events that we've got coming up, projects that we've got coming up, and just interacting with people that have followed All Knightz from the beginning and just keeping them informed about the projects that we have up and coming and all that good stuff. So yeah.
Okay, amazing, good stuff.
She's downplaying her part. She does a lot more than that. She does a lot more than that, but she's downplaying it.
Yeah, that's what the most hard workers usually do,
Yeah.
Not taking the credit, giving the credit to everyone else. I guess you pass on all the credit to you, Wayne. But yeah, I saw where you guys. I was speaking to Wayne the other day and about the whole animation. If you guys are into animation, can you guys just elaborate on the work you do re-animation?
Okay, that's mostly me at the moment. I mean, that's all what we originally wanted to do, but we got into comics kind of more as a prerequisite to kind of tell the stories that we've created, because we realized that comics is a good place to kind of have a foundation when you want to get people like voice actors and other artists to work with you. So at least they've got some source material. But with animation, that's more me, because I've done like a lot of animated commissions. I'm working on a couple music videos, like doing animated versions of them. And also sometimes people might want like a short little animated clip to promote their business or something like that. I've done quite a lot of commissions like that. And even in the background, you can see there's something I'm working on. And, that's for somebody, and like just stuff like that. So that's mostly a thing that I do. But as that time's gone on, we've all kind of been trained in different aspects. So some people might be better at storyboarding. Some people might be better with actual script writing, screenplays, that kind of thing. Others might be more specialized in more like the effects part of it, or the composition, or the editing, that kind of thing. And what I found with myself is my strong point tends to be the character design / storyboarding and keyframe animation. It's a bit of a nightmare doing all three, because sometimes a lot of the work for a commission could end up on just one person. But because that's what my passion is, I tend to just get on with it. And we're a tight team, like tight knit. But in regards to animation, it really works better if you're working with more people. But everyone's got their own different way of working. Some people want to use this program, some people want to use that program, some people want to do digital, some people want to do it traditional, some people want a combination of the two. So you've got all of those kind of things to deal with. So that's why it can be a bit, strenuous. And that's also why I wanted to connect with you, because my parents, they're from St. Thomas, Jamaica.
Oh, awesome, guys. So hear that? Big up St. Thomas. St. Thomas, big up yourself.
You're always Yalla's Bay all the time. So, but my father was telling me that like animation's taken off in Jamaica.
Yeah,
and I paid attention, and it is. And the only thing is, I wanted to approach it from an angle of I'll have my own intellectual property that I could bring to the table. And if there was a certain aspects of my animated projects that I wanted to do, I could outsource a particular part to like a load of Jamaican animators and say, right, you do that. I send you the money, you send it back to me. And I know that works because a lot of the animation studios, that's what they do. They'll get it character designed in America, and then it will get written by whatever person, and then they send it off to South Korea and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, why can't we do that? But I've struggled to find Jamaican animators that really, well, I'm not saying they don't exist. They are. So I've been paying attention to some of the stuff that she's been doing.
She's doing a really good job.
Yeah, so I've just been trying to make that link, and then I was planning to come to your event in July, the year before last, but then obviously
and then COVID attack.
Yeah, just mash up everything. So
and you have there's a group here. In fact, they should have been with us today, but unfortunately they aren't able to make it. But it's a network of local animator here in Jamaica. They are the Jamaica Animation Nation Network. So these guys collectively, I think they have a website with the same name, JamaicaAnimationNetwork.com something. But these guys are about the word promotion of the animation industry in Jamaica. So they collectively, Jamaica is a small island, and it's basically persons all over the place. So people don't usually connect as much. So these guys for the last maybe 10 years or so have been rounding up, so to speak, doing workshop, doing training, doing all the works, getting the local animators together, creating the website. Recently launched, I think a couple months ago, where they're listing all the local animators here and artists, other creators. So for persons like yourself and other persons elsewhere who wish to maybe outsource a certain aspect of their work to be done, they can get in contact with these persons to do so for them. So it is a good look, as you said, you watched and you're seeing what's happening here, read the animation, and trust me, it has come a far way, and it's really going places now based on what I'm seeing. Yeah, so it's a good look. But yeah, we wanted to get the animation aspect because I know it's not the major point of you guys thing. So we want to touch on now on what you guys are more notable known for, your comic, your graphic novel.
Yeah, so there was a few of them. I mean, the first one was the one that I created called Hardwired. That was like a sci-fi futuristic kind of story.
So that's where you actually get the name, the nickname Hardwired Riley, or you had it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you saw. Yeah, that's on my Facebook page. That was just something that I put on my Facebook name in the middle. So my name's Wayne Riley, but I just put Wayne Hardwired Riley in the middle.
Yeah.
But Hardwired is the comic, and I created that when I was at university, like the idea. Okay. And when I started it was originally supposed to be just a cartoon, but it was only after we realized how intricate animation is, we decided to scale back and say, right, let's do comics first and then do animation. So it's got more of a foundation, because there's a lot of people that make animation or cartoons, but it ends up being a flash in the pan, because the way media moves so fast, it's like you'll make something, it come, then it's gone. It's just like music. You'll make like a album or a song, people listen to it and then they forget about it shortly after. So with the comics, we just thought that kind of sets more of a footprint and more of a foundation. And
So,
then it goes into addition to the cartoon as well. So then you might have part of the story that's in a comic, but then like this other part of the story in an animation. So it keeps people engaged, also encourages people to kind of like read on the books and the history of like some of the stuff we've been doing. You know, you might watch anything, you might watch a TV show, but you'll realize there's more going on when you actually read the book.
okay, awesome. So this comic is it a one issue, or it has more issues to it? Oh, it's already at 3.
Yeah. But this was some years back now. But we've been working on like loads. I've written up to like issue 40 something now. So
okay, awesome.
So and I've got like issues 4, 5, 6, and 7 already drawn and stuff. But the thing with us, we actually print our comics. We don't just do it digitally. In fact, we don't even really do digital, to be honest. We did it on Amazon once upon a time, but the money that came back from it wasn't too good. So we just decided to keep it, just to stick to the original of printing it out. And I know that's a struggle for some people that do comics because they're not necessarily bold enough to print out a certain amount of comics and then confident that they can sell it. But we approached it like a business. We looked at how much it costs to print, how much it costs to get it drawn, colored, that kind of stuff. And they thought, okay, the amount of money we make back depends on how much we sell it. So it's got to cover the artists that we've paid to work with us, the printing costs and all the rest of it. And it actually works out that the more you print and the more you sell, the better it is. So if you sell like 1,000 copies and we sell it for say £5, for example, that's how much we do sell it for. That's £5,000. You with me? But then the cost of it could be the best part of like 3,000 and up. So you've got to really work. But then if you sell 2,000, 3, 4, 5, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the break even thing, to match up. I understand the struggle because some guys out there, they actually have the same issue with their production. I mean, constantly try to break even because the input cost in producing a comic, a physical copy is tremendous and can be extremely overwhelming on the creator. So so they're trying to get it online, like yourself doing and stuff like that. So in fact, most of the creators here, they actually you have Maroon Black. It's mostly during con season they would print stuff and bring it at cons because that's where you get a consistent and more sales, at least out here. Because back in the days, comic used to sell like hot bread, but because things and times change, comic kind of died down, manga kind of take over a little. So persons get all their thing online to read. So nobody is too interested to go into a store to buy a comic out here. But when it comes to con season now, they're more hype, more pumped. People literally save much thousands of dollars just to go to the con, to our con, because and other cons here, just to get these material. So you have Maroon Black and a few other creative individual author who basically is doing a similar thing that you are doing. So it all makes sense.
I'm gonna say one thing, then I'm gonna pass it on to Felicia and Agnes because they all attest to this. We heard the same thing about comics struggling to sell. I can confidently say that wasn't really a problem that we had. And the reason being because we didn't just apply ourselves just to the comic market. A lot of the people even told us when we went to certain events, they didn't even buy comics, but they bought it because it was us. And the reason they did that is because in the community that we live in, you don't really know of people like us that do that kind of thing. They always associate comics with a certain type of person, particularly in this country, because obviously in this country, it's different from Jamaica. You got black people, white, X, Y, Z.
There's mostly white people type of thing.
So for example,
is real.
So even down to the dress sense, for example, if I go to a comic convention, they're not expecting me to be the creator behind certain things. They're not expecting Felicia to be involved or find out that Felicia's my partner or Agnes there as well. they're almost
Probably
surprised.
shocked that females are in it, and not only females, but the female have colored into it. It's like probably come to them like really strange.
Yeah,
And
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, and those within your own race, do you guys find that they kind of give that same type of vibes? I mean, like a rejection type of thing, somewhat.
I'll let Felicia answer that.
What are you talking about? Like your, I mean, when we go to, oh, sorry, can you hear me? Sorry, can you hear me?
Felicia,
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so I think when it comes to Comic Cons, I think because we bring black superheroes to the comic world. So when we first went, a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, like black superheroes!" Haven't seen a lot, because most people only know, say, Storm, Black Panther. There's only a few you can really kind of, pick up and and think, yeah, those are the ones. But we
And
came
they
with a
barely
whole
get the limelight.
catalog of like new characters that we've all designed. So we came and it was like a big shock, and they were like, "Oh my god, like what's this?" So it was nice to really kind of say, I wasn't saying we were rejected. It was more like of a shock and wow, like this is what you're bringing. And I think that's what really kind of brought people into us, I think, for All Nights, because we did bring something different. We brought different stories, and it was just like this is good to see. So we made a big impact on Comic Con because of things like that.
Yeah, and the way I always see it, you guys, the amount of characters and comics, I mean, it's like you guys on a mission to just rewrite the entire status quo of the comic verse. I mean, I'm loving it. Just the look at your website and think, I mean, I was like, whoa, these guys on a mission. You'd have think it's an entire, what do you call it? One of those big production site with all their entire IPs just listed. I was like, wow, guys on a mission. And I'm loving it. And I would love to see our guys out here to be aware, to see what is happening. And it's not just happening, but a Jamaican is actually involved. And not only a Jamaican, but a team of black colored individuals actually working on this, because I mean, the fact is, the Black Panther is there, the Storm is there, but really and truly, how much of a limelight does they really get? They don't really get much.
Listen,
but
sorry, no, finish what you're gonna say, because I'm gonna have a rant.
You can see the amount of money Black Panther, for instance, it actually brings in. So that shows you the power of a black character. So yeah, Wayne, you can go ahead.
Okay, so let me just say this, because I knew Black Panther was going to come up. I knew his name was going to get brought up in this, and I've got a Black Panther chain on. So
Wakanda.
I would have said St. Thomas for life, but I digress.
Yeah.
But so when I say what I'm going to say next, it's not a hating thing, but Black Panther's been around for about as long as I've been living. They could have made a Black Panther film anytime they wanted. The only reason they made it a film is because, and I'm not even being arrogant when I say this, because I'm speaking about other black creatives as well. And I'm like, I'll reel off a load of names. One of them you interviewed, actually, James Mason. That's one. The Almighty Stream Team, Sean Allen as well. He worked on one of the Hardwired comics. Mashindu Kumba, Lloyd Cheatham, Anthony Piper. Like, there's a load of independent artists.
James, big up yourself if you're watching. No, go ahead.
Yeah. No, they know. I've spoken to all these people on a first name basis. But what I'm saying is, we've been doing this for years. And what you got to remember is, as we're independent artists, we've been hired by different people at different stages. So there's no way that these executives in these offices don't know who we are. And they've seen what we're doing. They've seen what we're doing with our intellectual property. And we've been pushing barriers. And they're like, hold on a minute. If we don't do something now, these people are going to take over with their comic book stuff. And we're going to be left out. So yeah, you see that Vixen character that we left alone for so long? Yeah, bring her out of retirement. Yeah. You see Luke Cage.
So they kind of try to stifle what you guys
they could have done it. So what bothers me sometimes is that people, they get elated when they see Black Panther. And I'm not saying you can't like it, but there's people in your community that's been doing this from before you even knew to care about that.
Yeah, it's so true, so true. I mean, and it's so sad on their part. It's like, as you are rightfully saying, it's like they strategically using these things to kind of somewhat belittle or to kind of overshadow what the Black community is doing, creative community is doing. And it's because I can remember I went around in 97, in the 90s, when what's his name was supposed to do that same movie, the Blade guy.
Oh, Wesley Snipes.
Yes, I think they had him to do that movie, and you know who is the one who actually bring the Marvel universe into life?
Yeah,
that's
him,
the same Black guy. And that was the first movie Marvel made that made quite a bit of money. And it's like they don't give the Black creators, the Black actor, the characters. It's like they keep shunning them somewhat, but at the same time to use for their political goal or something, they kind of bring them to light to overshadow or to do something like the whole, the Black life movements going on here and there, and the Black empowerment and stuff. You see them, boom, bring up. You have Black Lightning, everything a black this, Black that. So we were all these before.
Yeah.
So
that's the point that I've always made, and I'm not saying I don't like these characters. I do like them.
Yeah.
But the actual work that goes into doing this kind of stuff is a lot more than what people think, and even down to with like hiring artists and stuff like that. Because a lot of artists, if we just keep it real, a lot of them follow the trope of they fit into the category of starving artists because it's sometimes hard to make money out of your creativity. I've had that problem. So you end up being someone that might does something creative, but you've got a job as well. You know, and just go ahead.
And not to cut you, I don't know if you're aware, there's this other Jamaican creator. I totally forget his name, but as you talk about, struggling artists, there is a Jamaican, he's one of the guys up there because he work right and do comic for Marvel. And I've seen like where they're saying like he's gone by the way, like, I mean, I think he's somewhere in Japan now and thing. And it's sad how you see how they treated the guy. This guy is made big. I'm telling some huge prints for Marvel and DC. Not only Marvel, but both of these. But the way how they treated him, it's not one that anyone would desire.
Well, I'll give you something even more that hits home. Like, for example, as I said, I mean, I live in Brixton now in London, but my family's from St. Thomas, Jamaica. And there's artist friends I know that's made songs with Popcorn. I've never met him, but he's from St. Thomas. There is no way on earth that he can get into the comic book world. Let's just say if he did, there's no way I can let that happen without him knowing who I am, because we're from the same place. You see what I'm trying to say? And that's the point. We sometimes allow the glitz and glamour of mainstream media to kind of define who we are, when really it's like, did you know that this was going in your own backyard the whole time? You just didn't know. Because we're not connected like that. And like you said, we're a small island, so there isn't really an excuse for it. That's why there's other places that I wanted to go to do comic conventions, like America. We should need to go to like comic convention in America as well. But I made it a point to say we need to touch base in Jamaica at some stage.
Yes, big up.
It has to. And even Lagos, like they've got a Comic Con as well. Lagos Comic Con, they've got one as well. So there's no reason for me to not prioritize doing it there first, and then by all means go to America, go Germany, go France.
They're already developed and already well organized and already ahead. So I totally dig in what you're saying. I mean, Felicia, you want to go?
Yeah, because I remember I came across, because I originally put Wayne onto the anime, your Comic Con, because I remember he came up on a post on Instagram, and I was like, wait a minute, I didn't even know Jamaica was doing this.
Yeah.
So when I saw it, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, hold on. And I remember I shared it to Wayne, and instantly Wayne was like, yeah, we're gonna go. Thank you. So I was like, I'm down anyway. So because like Wayne, my parents live in Jamaica as well. They live in St. Mary's, so they're not far either. But it was nice to know that both our parents live in Jamaica, and then we can also go over, and it'd be
St.
nice to bring
Mary, big up on
Agnes, so Agnes
herself.
can come over, and like for our other friends like Jess and Soul to come over. So it's nice to kind of bring the team to Jamaica as well, to get to
Yeah.
see different artists and, you know, meet new people and go to your Comic Con. It would just be really good, you know. So I'm glad that I did come across it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to coming.
We can't wait to embrace and have you guys, honestly, because it's really crazy. I mean, last year, well, no, the timeline is so messed up. We not even can keep track of time. But 2019 at the 2019 convention, we had a gentleman from same place in London there. He has Jamaican connection, and it's the same way he saw it somewhere. I think it's Anton Marks. He's a graphic novelist, and in no time, I'm telling you, Anton literally said, Rick, yo, I'm coming on. Oh, can I be a part of this? Oh, can I help to me? Same thing what you guys
What's his name, sorry?
Anton Marks. I think Mark Hewitt, but he goes by the pen name Anton Marks. Marksman Studio. So you probably
Okay.
can. But yeah, he was basically expressing the same reaction, same thing that you guys are expressing. He just, you know, Rick, I mean, this is like a couple months before the event, and he saw it, maybe a month. He saw the thing posted and stuff and said, Rick, no, I have to contribute. I have to play a part. I want to be a part of this. And in no time, the guy booked his ticket and is down here on a plane for the event. Literally, book his stay at the hotel and whatever for the event. And he's the one actually basically contribute to us by paying his own fare and all of these things. And it was amazing. It was amazing. But I mean, guys, give me a second. I'm trying to see if we can get some more time with you because this discussion is really,
Before you do that, I know who you've got on next. Me and him have yet to meet each other. So
you guys haven't met yet?
I'm just saying, like me and him have been due to have.
So we can have you guys online then, man.
Yeah, you could because me and him have some mutual friends as well. Like he's friends with like they're called Ace of Jacks Radio. They're over here. They've been promoting our stuff, and we've been due to kind of have a link up and discuss things anyway. So if he's on the same page as us, so you know, because I was aware that he's on after us.
Because he's up next in a few minutes. In fact, anytime now. So all right, you want us to make a break, contact him, and then make the arrangement and have. All right, guys. Can we take a break?
Yeah, no problem.
Cool.
All right, guys, we'll be back with you shortly. We're gonna make this link because this is a link that must be made, and it's. I mean, how can we not make it? So we'll see you back in a few minutes. Thank you.
It sounds like a real commercial.
welcome back. Now we have made a linkage with Wayne Riley and the All Knightz team, you know, Felicia, Agnes, and along with his the great, Jason Barrett from JBEON Comics. He created the Eru comics, and now he's looking to release Heroes and Villains. Is that correct, Jason?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
so
the Age of Heroes and Villains.
Awesome stuff, awesome. So Jason, we just want to have a dialogue, make a connection with you and the All Knightz team here. So we want to, stir up a discussion because Wayne indicated this was long in the making. Is that right, Wayne?
That's right. Ace
Awesome
of Jacks
stuff.
mentioned you a number of times.
That's my cousin, you know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Ace is my cousin. That's my young cousin, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so
So
your family.
Yeah, I suppose so. But it was even before that show that you was on, because even before that, people was telling me about you and your comic plantation wars and stuff. Yeah, I know what it's called. And yeah, so it was just due to happen, but you get busy, and then yeah. But obviously you see what some of us look like now. There's more of us.
Yeah.
And obviously we got my man here talking about what's going on in Jamaica with like animation, comics and stuff. And I just thought it would be a good idea, kill two birds with one stone, and just obviously you do what you do, say what you're saying, but kind of just use it as an opportunity to link up maybe in Jamaica when like there's another event there.
Definitely.
He's chosen to have his event at the most expensive part of the year, might I add, July. But yeah.
Nah, my bro, definitely. Listen, like that's my home away from home. You get me? A yard with set. So anything that can get me out there, you understand? Like I'm all over it, bro. So now 100%, as I say, Ace is my cousin. So from your Ace's people, you're my people, man. There's no ifs, buts, no maybes. Like that.
It's a very small world, it seems, man. It's really a very small world.
So wait, I'll let Felicia and Agnes reintroduce themselves to you.
Yes.
Hiya, so my name is Agnes. I'm one of the directors for All Knightz. My role is more so involved in the social media and marketing side of things. So just keeping on top of all of our socials, the Facebook and the Instagram, Twitter, etc. The newsletters, reaching out to our audience, informing them of upcoming events and news, All Knightz related, and just a way for people that enjoy our work to interact with us, really. So yeah, that's my involvement.
Felicia?
Yeah, and myself. So I'm also one of the directors of All Knightz. I've done my own comic called Knightz, and I'm also a colorist as well. So yeah, like we pretty much have quite a lot of roles basically in All Knightz.
Love it.
Yeah. So JC, you want to introduce yourself for us, for the audience, for the team as well, please?
Could you repeat that, sir? I never heard that.
Oh, Jason, hearing me? Is Jason frozen?
Oh, Jason's frozen.
Like,
he's there.
Yeah,
Catch up. He's probably going to say something in a minute.
I was just asking him to introduce himself. Yeah, so
and, that basically stands.
Oh.
Yeah, you cut out from it. You cut out for like maybe 5 seconds.
Oh, apologies. It's probably my internet. Sorry. Yeah, so my name's Jason Barrett. I'm the writer and I do all the concept illustrations for the Heru comic book series. My company's called JBEON Comics, which is JBEON, which stands for Jason Barrett Entertains Our Nation. And basically, yeah, I'm a Black Studies teacher. And so I've got a great passion for storytelling and for owning and telling the stories that we need to be told from us, by us. I feel like if we allow other people to control our narrative, then they get to tell stories about us that are generally caricatures. They're not the real thing, And so I think it's massively important that we own and control our own imagery, that we put it out into the world. So that's basically the mission, We've got lots of titles in the making. So as was mentioned earlier, we're launching the Age of Heroes and Villains at the end of this month. It's actually 9 months late because one of the artists, his younger brother, died during the whole COVID pandemic thing. Yeah.
Sorry about that, Sam.
Yeah, so it kind of put the project back. We brought on a different artist, but half the book had already been complete, so it weren't gelling very well. And so eventually the previous artist came back and kind of completed the project. So we're launching that at the end of this month. And yeah, man, we've based it on a lot of real people. It's inspired by real people. It's inspired by people that I like, that I rate. And basically my thing is like, we're the superheroes now, you know? And so I've changed real people into superheroes in a way to, and villains, in a way to kind of inspire. And again, to kind of tell the stories that we want to be told from our perspective. So that's kind of my main thing. I'm also a filmmaker. I've made, you know, lots of little, started out shooting music videos and things like that. My company did Kano's P's and Q's video all them years ago. And then I went in, I made a feature film called The Naked Poet, which is available on Amazon. So yeah.
I saw it somewhere,
yeah.
Very good job, man. Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, you're a man of so many talents, yo. It's just amazing. It's really amazing. And
thank you.
An individual with your talent is what our audience, the guys here in Jamaica, need basically, you know, your wisdom to kind of, you know, shine a light on it. Because, you know, we're here and we face the hardship daily, you know, the whole black thing and all of that. And the part that you and yourself, in fact, we just have a very, very amazing discussion we were just having before you come on. We do this and very same topic. I mean, this very same topic about black in the comics and, you know, all the, you know, the drama and stuff that they do at times to sabotage, you know, black creators and black characters. So, I mean, if you can just touch on your experience on this type of topic, we'll basically appreciate that much.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Like, I've been collecting comics since I was young. You know, I bought my first comic. I think it was The Mighty Thor. My mum bought it for me. I was about 7, 8 years old, and on the way to church, and I just kind of saw Thor versus the Crusader, and basically from that moment on, I kind of fell in love with that comic books. But what I noticed is that none of the heroes really looked like me, and any of the ones that did look like me were all sidemen. You know, didn't have the best powers, were kind of like nothing more than butlers, you know, a backup dancer. So you got Captain America, Falcon's like he's butler. You've got Tony Stark, War Machine's like his butler. You know, it's always this black sidekick. Yeah. And then when they finally decide to give a character his own title, you look at Luke Cage. Luke Cage is the epitome of a caricature of a blaxploitation character from, you know, the 1960s stroke 70s. You know, you got a black man with a big afro wearing a tiara, you know, with wristbands on, you know, skin tight trousers, a bright yellow shirt, walking around Harlem, thumping people in their face and saying, "Sweet Christmas."
Typically, I mean, come on, the black story is so vast. I mean, come on. We are on this earth like the first. Aren't we the first humans on earth, so to speak? Come on. And that's what the best we can come up with. Oh, man.
But do you know what the problem is? The problem is that, and this is someone's idea of what black people are like. And this is why I say to you about it's the importance of controlling our story. Because if I was to write a Chinese character, he's probably going to be called something like Jackie Chan. He's probably going to be able to do kung fu. He's probably going to always eat noodles, because that's my stereotypical idea of what a Chinese superhero should be like.
Yeah.
So when you let white people control the narrative and the idea of what black people should be like, you're going to get something like Luke Cage, hero for hire. Everyone else does it for free. Does it because it's the right thing to do. Does it because it's benevolent. But when a black man does it, hero for hire. It's how someone sees the black identity.
Because there are so many other characters, white and Asian or whatever. basically it does the very same thing Luke does. And as you said, I mean, they do it for free, but a black man, oh, he's here for hire. Like, I mean, you have so many, all right, you have so many mercenaries or anti-hero and thing, but the picture they paint of these characters, Luke is outright an hero, you know. But you see the aura, the picture they paint of it. But you have persons like, what's his name? Punisher. You have those guys, other characters. These people are actually villain, you know. But you see the way how they paint them because they may be white or something. So I mean, it's serious. We really need to take ownership of black, tell our own story, so to speak. Put our stuff out there, and what you guys are doing yourself and the All Might team. Oh my God, you have no idea how much we here in Jamaica embrace when we were like, oh, so there's black character, black comics, blacks. I mean, because every day we know ourselves, we just grew up on, you know, a bunch of white guys. In fact, out here, Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, you know, all of these other white guys. And then with the advent of the MCU, oh my God, we get full light. Thank God them kind of slide in a little Black Panther in it and stuff like that, because we would be so whitewashed. I mean, come on. So, yeah.
I can tell Rick feels very comfortable because the Jamaican's really coming out. He was talking really.
Not wrong.
No, he was talking really official before, but it's coming out, and I'm just like, yeah, he's back home now.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm here with the yard people. Them online. I mean, come on with all the passion, of course. But I mean, yeah, you can go.
So he was finishing.
Yeah, so honestly, the part that we are on, that you guys are on, honestly, it is the best part for us as a black community, a black race. For all that have been done to us, I mean, you have just the other day a bunch of Windrush drama in over there in UK, and then you have the Black Lives Matter around the world, and then over here we have hair problem. Can you believe it? Jamaica have a hair problem. We're Rastafari is the biggest thing, but we have hair problem in school, wherever the workplace. It's a huge thing. It's ridiculous.
One of the problems with that is because when Jamaica got its independence, interestingly, when so-called independence, Britain was very, very specific with what they did. So they gave Jamaica an independent bank, an independent currency, an independent government, and even an independent defense force. But what they didn't give Jamaica independence was with their school. So the school curriculum is still dictated from here. And the reason why they've done that is a very specific thing. If you can control somebody's mind, you can control their body. And so white supremacy is a disease that they infect us with in schools, because what they do is they promote that white people created everything, invented everything. And as a matter of fact, black people's only application to history has been getting themselves caught into slavery, and we needed white people to get us out of that. Now, if you continue to tell that story, what you then do is you infect people's mind and you make them feel less than. So it doesn't matter that you've got a government and your own central bank and you've got your own. If you do not take control of the education system and start putting into the minds of young Jamaicans from the get-go about black power, black history, the real history, telling our story, explaining that white people have only just come along the other day as any main players on the stage of world history. Unless we are very, very aggressive with that, then this idea of white supremacy will continue to trickle down, because even things like white beauty standards, all of these things are taught in schools, and we receive things subliminally and so on and so forth. And then we want to bleach the skin, then we want to straighten the hair, because all of these images that are constantly bombarded. And listen, I will not attack anyone that is a victim. And this is what we can tend to do as black people, is that we see someone that might have, that might be bleaching and all the rest of that. And the first thing we want to do is get onto them. Yeah, I get all of that. But we've got to look, there's a deeper reason.
It's a deeper,
all of those things, and all of that starts in the education system. And that's why Britain, none of the colonial nations, whether it's the French, whether it's the British, whether it's the Germans, all of them control the school systems of the countries that they so-called have given independence to. Now, there has to be a reason for that. What you don't want the banks? No. Really? You don't want the government? No. We want the school. Why? The reason is you then control the narrative of what the next generation and generations that continue. So we have to have a massive investment in writing our own curriculums.
Story. And what you guys are doing is the part. And if only we can get, I mean, we are basically having the dialogue now on to how hard it is and all of that. If only we can get more of our persons here hired to kind of start, develop content like you guys are doing on a more consistent business. I'm telling you, we the story here in Jamaica is one to rival, despite the fact how young we are as a nation, but our story can rival any other story in the world. I mean, come on, just imagine you create a race of you might call it black characters who are dreadlock, and that is weird. It has some of them ability and stuff like. Just imagine, and oh my God, that would you remember in Matrix? You have those guys with the lock here, and you saw who they were.
Yeah,
just
a Lux was saying, when I said dreadlocks again, a Lux.
Yeah, man, the whole word.
The dread, and even that. The dread that was added by white people, they used to call them either fear locks or dreadlocks.
Oh,
yes.
What I mean.
In the way that we present, me and the Rasta brothers are always having this, because every minute them I lick out pan Babylon, and I'm trying to say to them, hear what I'm trying to say to you. Babylon was a black civilization. It was an African civilization. Before the Arabs went there in Iraq and took over that place, that was our space. And because we've taken on this narrative of, it's not Babylon. This system isn't based on a Babylonian system. This system's based on Rome. Rome with it bun. But yet still, even in our everyday speech, we're banning things that are our heritage. Babylon was ours. Babylon's got one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, the Hanging Gardens in Babylon. They were a multifaceted society of Africans before the Arabs run up there in 635 AD and got rid of them all. And so when we're dealing with we've got to a place now where we need to kind of unstitch everything, because it was all taught to us by the enemy, and really look into it. And so part of what I do in the comic books is I like to bring in our ancient Egyptian glory, because
and all of that.
So which is why I even went with the title being, the first hero being Heru, because our English word hero actually comes from that Greek deity Heru. So this is why I said the first hero, because it all traces back to this guy, and all of the heroes you see, Spider-Man, Superman, all of them trace back to ancient Kemet. And those are stories that were just retold. The Greeks took them, bastardized them. The Romans took them, bastardized them.
All kind of similar.
Bastardized them. Marvel took them, bastardized them, until we've got the pantheon of heroes that we've got now. But when you go back, all of it comes from us.
Okay. Jason, when you want to say something?
Yeah, I've got a question. It's for the two of you, Rick and
Jason.
The name just lost me. Jason. I was about to call you Haru because I know someone called Haru as well.
That works.
Yeah. So I'm just getting used to it. But I was talking before about sales, about like of the actual comic, because what we do, we sell online, but then we also go to events, Comic Con, some like Black History Studies events, stuff like that. We sell there and all the rest of it. Agnes does a lot of that as well. Like sometimes we'll be like in different locations. So we might be at one event, but then the same day there's another event, and say Agnes and Jess might be there and me and Felicia will be here, that kind of thing. But I wanted to ask both of you, how have you found sales works best? Do you find it more lucrative digitally or like physical copies, or what do you feel is moving forward? What do you think is the future in that regard?
Well, very definitely. I feel like online is basically where it's going to all end up. I'm very much like you. I do the same thing. I go out vending. I absolutely love going out vending.
Yeah.
And I've done it all over the world, you know, extensively throughout America. We've done New York, we've done some of those big events like a Dundee in Pennsylvania, and the response is always really, really heart-filling and warm. But everything's moving to an online kind of marketplace, even what we're doing here, you know, connecting around the world online. And so I think the future is definitely online. I still believe that, I mean, with this whole NFT market that's developing and digital collectibles, it's going to be interesting how long physical copies, because part of the whole physical copy experience is the collectability of it and the exclusivity and the potential of something that you bought for, you know, £1.50 being worth, you know, hundreds, maybe even thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
You know, a friend of mine has The Walking Dead #1, and there was one of those that was going for 10 grand. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? And he paid whatever, a couple of quid for it when it first came out. So that collectability has now been transferred onto the NFT marketplace, where you can get digital collectibles that continue to go up in value. So I definitely think that the future is going to be online. But I still think we're probably sort of 10 years away from that, because I still sell more physical copies of my comic, even on an online platform, than I do the digital copies of the comic. And what happens a lot of the time is people buy the £1.50 digital comic, read it, and then the same person you'll see order the actual physical book.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking something similar, but I think physical is always gonna help in a way, because like you said, it's a collectible and stuff. And when you say NFTs, that's more like, let's keep it real, that's just mostly adults. Young children, though, they're not, you know, you're not going to get a 4-year-old to talk about NFTs. So they're going to need a physical book. And like, even like Agnes, remember when we was like doing, well, you'll know, like when we was doing like the Black History Studies, the Black Market event, where Ace of Jacks would come as well. Like, recall some of your experiences from that, Agnes, because you was there yourself, particularly because it was you at the table, or you and Felicia, like the difference between when it's me selling or you selling.
Yeah, definitely. So with these kind of events, one thing that I've noticed over the years when we were attending was just seeing the excitement on people's faces when they're able to actually see the product in front of them, pick it up, hold it, you know, flick through, see the different type of characters. And, you know, as much as we're talking about, you know, things moving into a more digital direction, there's still going to be some, you know, old school people that, you know, want to have that experience from maybe when they were younger, being able to go into a comic book store and, you know, spending a couple of hours just flicking through the comics and, you know, seeing the latest editions and stuff like that. So for us, we like to bring that experience when we go to these kind of events. And you've also got to remember that there's going to be, you know, some people that just not really digitally versed like that they don't really kind of have that digital literacy. So for them, a physical copy will always be much more appealing than, you know, a digital one. But, you know, these kind of, you know, events that we went to in the past have always worked in our favor, because, you know, it's just nice to see the community come round, you know, come to our stands, have a conversation, ask us questions, you know, see the imagery that we're putting out there. And, you know, for us, or for myself, I don't know about the others, but I always cherish those kind of moments, because, you know, we didn't put in all that blood, sweat and tears for nothing, just to come to an event and, you know, people just walk past our stand. No, it's always great to have that one-on-one interaction with, you know, people that might have seen us online or through word of mouth, and, you know, they're seeing it physically right in front of them. So, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Felicia, you want to say something?
I'm the same with Agnes. It's a nice feeling when you get to see the excitement on people's faces, because when we went to the Comic Cons, and like I said, when people see that, oh my god, it's black superheroes, like, oh, they're like black superheroes. It's like they just got a new pack of Skittles or something. They just, you know, got their favorite sweet. So it's like, and we're bringing something new. So we're not bringing your original type of characters. You know, we've designed these characters, just like Jason designed his character, and it's something that no one's seen. So when you go to a Comic Con and you're a black person who's created these yourself, you haven't had, you know, someone like maybe Stan Lee who has helped you, you haven't had Todd McFarlane help you, you've done this yourself, you know, you created this person, and they hear the story behind it, they love it. They love it. They're like, you really did this. You bring out a whole comic, new characters, new superhero powers, things you ain't even heard of. I mean, y'all may have teased it, but you ain't heard of it, if you know what I mean. But you know, all new things coming from creative people. It's a nice feeling because they respect it, you know, and I think that's very important. Like, you're respected from when they see you've done this, and I think it's great. And especially when it comes to the young ones, they need to see this, because when we're gone, they're the ones that's going to be saying, I remember when I saw Alicia's comic, or I saw, they're going to say that, and that's what you want them to say. You want to really make sure they're like, you know what, I want to be like that, you know, because it's weird me saying that I'm a mentor, but I don't think I am, but there's like two young kids that I am technically mentoring. I would say they call me their mentor, but they want to do art, and I'm helping them. I show them the character designs that I've done, things like that. And I love doing that, because it makes me realize that I'm inspiring people as I go along. And I know it's the same for everyone in this group. No matter what, sometimes you might feel like it may be too much sometimes, but you got to remember who's watching you and who you're inspiring later on, and the next generation. So for me, it's very important. So I'm with Agnes on all of that.
Yeah. I mean, you guys really hit the nail on there. The online thing is really where it's heading right now. Because if you guys should look and see the sales of Marvel, DC, it's horrible. These days, it's horrible. But when it comes to the convention season time, any con or any event of such, yeah, all the adrenaline for all the fans and everybody, they congregate in one spot. Try and know you better walk with enough stuff.
It's not just that as well. It's like when we're doing these things, like say for example, Rick, when you're doing your event, it's important they know it's you. It's important they know that it's you, and it's important they know that it's Jason, it's Agnes, it's Felicia, because there's another generation of young people, especially now, the way that education's kind of a bit mash up now, for lack of a better term. A lot of young people, you ask them now what they want to do, they don't know. A lot of young black youth, you ask them what they want to do, and they've literally got no clue. They might say something like, you know, I want to be a fireman or something. But as they get older and they get into themselves, they have different ideas, but they don't know where to start. But it helps if they see people like us and they see, okay, this is what they're doing. Okay, so I can do that. And okay, and you with me. And I feel one of the mistakes that some people make is they downplay the resistance in whatever it is they're creating. I mean, it's a double-edged sword, because if it's known that you're the creator of something, if people don't like you one day for whatever reason, they can decide to cancel you and decide to not support what you're doing. But on the other hand, if you've got, you know, particularly like, I mean, Jason, you'll probably agree with me on this, but particularly like even with like women now, like young black girls, for example, they don't know what they want to do in some cases. But if they don't know that this person was a woman, a black woman that done this, they wouldn't even think they can do that. You with what I'm saying? So I try my best to kind of put our face on things in that respect, so that it kind of gives the next generation some kind of something to draw to, say, oh, I can do this.
And I think with Wayne is what I like with Wayne is he made sure that he made a lot of female black characters, and I've made a lot of female black characters. And I think things like that is important, because I remember like we used to go to events, and Wayne knows what I'm talking about. So when he was at the table, and yeah, Agnes will know as well. So when he was at the table, he would have black females come up to him and say, oh, so where's the blacks, you know, women, where's the black? And he'll be like, wait a minute, you've just walked past a good, because we would have a long, like a big stand, and it would have all the female characters, what I've designed, what Wayne's designed. And Wayne's like, you've just walked past a whole load of female characters that we just done. So then the next problem was, oh, well, you know, because it was there was a thing at the time where it was like, you know, black females weren't pretty enough or sexy enough or whatnot. So we made sure our female characters are on top. Okay, we made sure they're good looking women, they're strong women, they're everything, and we did that. But you would still get the odd one that will come up to Wayne, not when say me and Agnes at the table, but when Wayne was at the table, and they'll be like, oh, so where's the strong black women? Wayne's like, here they are, and he's like, oh, this has been drawn by me. And they're like, yeah, but she's a bit too sexy. He's like, well, what do you want? I don't get it. What is it that you want? I've given you exactly what you've asked for. And it really did kind of get a little bit frustrating, but then we had to kind of just say, look, this is what we've created, okay? Y'all should be happy because we're doing this. And you have to kind of realize, as long as the young kids are seeing this and they love them, we're on the right track. Because you can't please everybody. That's the thing, you can't please everyone. But regardless, we're on the right track and we're doing everything we're supposed to. And yeah, it's been going well.
Good.
And I just love the fact, not to cut you, so I'll get back to you. I just love the fact that you guys mention ladies. That is very important to the entire process. Because if you should notice now, gone were the days when in the comic industry, the creative industry, not many female actually put, what should I say? I don't want to get, you know, any trouble, but not many females create create content and stuff. Because if you should look, it's pure male. All the major characters out there is pure male. I mean, come on, we're living in a world where both male and female. I don't know if they hide the characters, the female made characters. I'm not sure what's happening or what happened, but it kind of look away to me, yo. Honestly, it kind of look away. And then what you're finding today now is female now, you know, they're giving, trying to kind of, you know, go to the political correctness side of things in a sense. So they are giving the female some male dominated characters, characters that were made by me, and in a sense they kind of don't understand it to an extent. So when they bring it to the live screen, it kind of look away, and how they portray the character is not how it was originally made in the comic, if you get what I mean.
I mean,
I think,
go on, Jay.
Sorry, bro. Yeah, I think
no, you go first.
One of the things is I agree with this false idea of political correctness. I don't personally like too much when they black characters that were white. I'm not really feeling that. I'm feeling more like create new characters. And the same with characters that were once, you know, in their first iteration were male are just being turned into females just because of political correctness. I think it's long. I think what they need to do, especially the major comic houses like Marvel, DC, Image, Dark Horse, all of them guys, they just need to hire more female writers. Because the long and short of it is, you're always gonna, for me anyway, I always write from my own perspective. So I'm generally writing from a male perspective. Now, I'm not saying that men cannot write from a female perspective.
Yeah.
We've got female writers. Let them do the thing, because they will, to me, do it more justice. In that, and this is my personal opinion. So I do feel
honestly,
the black female experience. There are female writers, there are female illustrators out there, but they're just not getting the opportunities. They're not getting the opportunities to put out their stuff. And I think it's a shame. I think it's a shame, you know, shame on all of those major comic houses that are not giving the opportunities to see these black female heroes or heroines, whatever you want to say, you know, put to the forefront. To me, like, even like, you know, characters like Storm and stuff were created by, you know, white guys. My thing is, we love those characters. Now bring in some black female writers to write those characters. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? So to me, it will change. We're moving in that direction with the whole diversity and inclusion. And so we've got to take the wins when we can get them. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? But generally speaking, I just feel that there needs to be more opportunities opened for black female writers to write their stories.
Yeah. Wayne, we're gonna say something.
I've learned there are actual female writers, artists, animators But what I've started learning, even in the independent comic circuit, you'll probably notice when you buy an actual comic, just look at the names that's on the front, and you'll start noticing, because this happened to Black Ant, Anthony Piper. Artists will hire someone to write, to draw their comic or write, but they won't put their name on the credits. But they'll be at a comic convention table selling the book like they did it. They're not even mentioning the artists they've used. And so when you come to them at a table, you'll be under the illusion that they did everything themselves. So we're supposed to believe that you wrote it yourself, you drew it yourself, you colored it yourself, you did the lettering yourself. Like, and it's only as you get into it, you realize. And what I've learned, even when you watch the credits after certain films, TV series, there's a load of Black women involved, but they're not necessarily put on the forefront of certain things. That's what I've learned. I mean, I'm even looking at her name now. There's Afua Richardson. She's an illustrator at Image Comics now. But I remember when she was starting off, she's worked at Marvel too, but she was just kind of like normal on Facebook like the rest of us. But she's kind of propelled further now. But that's only one name I can think of off the top of the head. There are more, but what happens is they end up just being downplayed. So they'll be in attendance when a comic's being worked on, and they may have done this, that, this, and the third, but they don't necessarily give them the credit. So I think it's not just about including them, it's about them having agents that know to say, well, you know what, you've got to do this and put their name here, so it leverages their career. Because I remember I'm the outspoken, unpopular one, but I've batted up a couple people before for like putting out a comic. I'm not going to mention their names here because it's not my platform to do that, but they've hired certain people and they haven't mentioned their names. And I'm like, that's false representation, because you're misleading people to believe that you did it and you did all this creativity. But lo and behold, you know, there's a Black woman from Walthamstow that was behind why that looks like that. But you ain't said her name and stuff like that. Or even down to the writing, there's women that have written certain things, but again, it gets presented a certain way, and then you just look at the main writer. You don't look at the person that helped edit that story. So there's a lot that goes into it. Even making a comic, like even this picture here, it was drawn by our friend called Jardel Cruz. He's in Brazil, and then it was colored by our friend called Francesca. She's in Italy. So that's two people. However, that character, Lamia, I created her, and then this one on the side as well, I created her. That one, Queen Desire, Felicia created her originally. So already you can see how many people's involved, and that's just one illustration. So when you go into a book or a film or cartoon, whatever, there's so many names involved, but you don't necessarily mention every single person involved. That's why even today, I made it a point to bring Felicia and Agnes to this particular part of the show, so people know the different levels of involvement. I'm pretty sure it's the same for you, Jason, as well. Like you even mentioned some people that was involved in your projects and stuff like that.
I mean, for me, I write the script and I do all the concept art, and that's as far as it goes with me. Then I've got to send it over. On the first book, I was working with a guy in the States called Kevin. I mean, their names all on the front cover of the book. Kevin was the artist, and I had a colorist from Australia. More recently, on the Age of Heroes and Villains, I've got Francis, who I mentioned earlier. He was the artist, and then the colorist was a guy from Nigeria called Terella. Absolutely, I've never seen colors like this, man. Like he's things on a different level. But yeah, really, really good colorist. And he done letters as well. And then I've got other guys that kind of like, help me with the concept art as well. When, I've got a guy called Alpha, Josh, we did a competition called Heru Versus. So we just wanted people to vote, and it was I gave away 500 quid, and it was like, the best picture. And he did.
You have money.
Heru versus Black Panther, and he won. So I've stayed in contact with him, and it was a way of sourcing talent. It was a way for me to find artists, let them come for me, let them come to me, because you guys probably know finding these people is not easy, and they are difficult to work with sometimes as well. You know what I mean?
That's where we're all going to look at Rick now. Let's look at Rick. Rick, you are now the person that needs to find us the Jamaican illustrators, the pencil artists, and the colorists.
Yeah.
I need a list to my WhatsApp by tomorrow night, because this is
Okay,
this,
sir.
check
Okay,
this
sir.
out. Check this out. And when you put this online to your Jamaican audience, they're gonna see what I'm saying. You know how much the Jamaican dollar is.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
sure you know how much the British pound is.
yeah.
I'm gonna give you some numbers
It's
now. I'm gonna give
crazy.
you some numbers. I'm gonna be completely honest. Wait. So
Guys, you hearing what's happening here? You seeing
yeah,
what's happening
I'm
here?
just all of you
Pay
now
keen
that are
attention.
artists in Jamaica, I need you to listen to this. So how much is it for, like, how much is one Jamaican dollar like to a pound, Jason? I can't even remember off the top of my head.
What, two something?
Right.
Yeah.
Let's just say two.
247 or something like that.
Right. Let's just say £1, $200. Yeah. £1,
Yeah.
$200. Wait there. This is one page. Yeah.
Wow.
That cost me about $80. That's about £67.
Wow.
I paid a guy £67, and if I've got 28 pages in a comic book,
Wow.
28 times 67. It's actually US dollars. He wants it in $80, but it's about £67. So what I'm saying is, why am I struggling to find a Jamaican artist to pay that same money to? And if a comic book has 28 pages,
Bro,
I'm just saying,
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I've got sneakers that cost more than this. So what I'm saying is, I could have an artist in Ochi, St. Thomas, maybe two in St. Thomas, one in St. Mary's, one in Portland, and I'm just sending the money to them. Right, send the money. Cool, send me the pages back. Cool, I do my thing. Maybe I'll get like I'll get Felicia, but then she's busy doing her stuff, so I'll get a colorist in, say, I don't know, America, France, Italy, but then I'm breaking the money off in Jamaica, and then that's how we fix the economy, because you're not going to be able to deal with this by just dealing with only Jamaicans buying the comic and Jamaicans paying each other. Because if that was true, Buju Banton and Cape wouldn't be able to make the money without touring. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's the same logic I'm using here. And I'm having this conversation because this is the first time I've been able to sit on this platform and actually say this publicly. So of all the things I've said that could go viral, let it be this. So please, if you're a Jamaican artist that does comic stuff or whatever else, you don't even have to be the world's best one. You could just be working and aspiring to get better, because you're going to get better. And then we're giving the money to you. And then you can just be doing this, sending it back to us. You see, you don't even have to leave your yard.
Yep.
Just saying. So Rick,
people, you hear the man? Hear the man, people.
I want to double down on that. I want to double down on that because I'm constantly, like I say, we've got lots of titles in the working at the moment, and I'm constantly looking for artists, constantly looking for colorists, constantly looking for letterers. So yeah, like I would love, like, and literally we got artists and stuff. We work with everyone all over the world. So I have people in Brazil, I have people in America, I have people in Italy, I have people in Australia. I've got no one from Yard. That's a fact. Yeah, no one.
And that's really sad. I mean, here in Jamaica, I keep saying to persons, I notice there are far more artists than writers. You literally, right now they're behind us creating an entire artwork, and you see the amazing work they're doing, you know, like graffiti artwork. And persons do these online and everywhere. But the story to go with an art, you know, to tell the story, that is kind of lacking somewhat. So you don't find much comics and stuff coming out here. But the artwork, I'm telling you, it's incredible, man. So I definitely gonna, guys, you listen to you're here listening to what's happening. You need to get in touch with us, and we'll make the reach out to you in more detail. I mean, these guys are here, Yard people, them, and them are sending things away to Brazil, like, for what fun? We need to make the link.
I've got characters that are based in Jamaica, like they're from Jamaica originally. Please, don't make me have to ask a French man to draw this character. To go in Jamaica twice a year and them things, and I can't find one Jamaican. Like, I know you're there. I know you're there.
All right, guys, we're about to wrap up about 5 minutes, but we have a couple of questions here that we want to from our audience. one question, Leonardo. What advice would you give for aspiring writers and creators? Yeah, I mean, you guys can. Wayne, you want to go first? Kind of make it short.
I'm going to
We have
go
about
first.
5 minutes.
I'm going to go first, and then I want everyone else to chime in. Copyright your work. Copyright it before you send anything, because they will take bits of it, and then next thing you know, you're watching HBO or whatever TV show, and they've taken an element of your idea, and you're like, yo, what? Yeah, that's what I would say. Just copyright your stuff and protect your work. So yeah, that's the first thing I'd say. Other than that, find someone that can maybe do some kind of physical rendition of your writing. So if you've written a story, maybe get an artist to maybe just draw a physical concept of a few of your characters. So at least in your mind, you've got a mental note of, oh, this is a character from this story that I wrote. That's all I would say. But the rest, Agnes,
I think for me, it will be maybe find a mentor. It's good to kind of, don't ever be afraid to ask for help as well, because sometimes you can get like a mental block. I know it's happened to me when I was writing, and it was kind of good to really get, like, say, Wayne or Agnes's help, or just someone to kind of really give me more inspiration. So I would definitely say maybe get a mentor and never be afraid to ask for help. So yeah, that's me.
Agnes?
Yeah, for me, I'll definitely utilize social media and market yourself. Create, maybe a separate page to really kind of like just showcase your work. Start connecting with people of similar interests also as well. If there is someone that you admire who's a writer or an artist, if you know their social media handles or even their professional contact details, don't be afraid to even reach out to them and say, like, hey, I'm someone that admires your work. I'm working on X, Y, and Z. Do you mind if I just pick your brains for 1 or 2 points? But in this digital era that we're in right now, utilize all the platforms that that we have, Twitter, the Facebook, the Instagram, whatever the case may be, to just really just start to promote yourself and put your name out there and start to garner that audience for yourself.
And marketing is very good, guys. As you're hearing Agnes saying, it is crucial. I mean, it makes no sense to go into the creative field if you're not promoting marketing your work and yourself. It makes no sense.
Definitely. Like, social media over the last, say, 5 to 10 years has really exploded. The latest one being TikTok. Everyone and their grandma is on TikTok, and that platform has blown out of nowhere. But, it's a good thing to be able to say, okay, let me learn how to use this app. Let me see what I can do in regards to my work. What kind of audience can I reach on this platform, etc., etc. Depending on, which platform you use, you're going to have to market yourself differently according to the platform. But, if you really kind of structure it and, really kind of set a schedule for yourself as to when you can post it, you can really set yourself up into a really kind of like positive path in terms of the marketing side.
Yeah.
I think my advice will be, first and foremostly, finish the script. Yeah, have discipline. Set time aside for if you say you're going to do 5 pages per day, do 5 pages a day. It's so easy to start putting it off till tomorrow, and then when you look over your shoulder, a month's gone by and you've done nothing towards the project. So it's really, really important that once you put yourself in that space and have an area, your space, where you create, where you write, where you've just got that positive energy, where you're shut off from everyone else, where you can just do your thing, because you'll find that it will start to write itself. I never say that any of the stories that I write, I never say that I write them, I say that I channel them, because when I read them back, I think, that's weird, because it literally comes through me. And so you need that private space where you can just kind of connect with the universe, where you can download those stories and where you can put them into action. But it's going to take a lot of discipline on your behalf. And I know, especially from the writing perspective, it's so easy to just kind of let me put it off till tomorrow and keep till tomorrow. So discipline is going to be a key one, and just start by starting and do by doing.
Yeah. Another question here. Do you guys have a platform where persons can reach out for assistance or anything like that? I know Felicia do quite a bit of mentoring there.
Yeah,
You guys,
you can find us on at All Knightz. So we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. You can always reach out to us. Don't be afraid to message us. If you want separate accounts, then you have Wayne Riley Art. I'm Leisha World Empire, because everyone calls me Leisha. And then Agnes also has her Instagram as well. So don't be afraid to call out to us, man, and message us. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll mute myself. I was gonna say, yeah, just use social media. The All Knightz page is there. It's literally spelled ALLKNIGHTZ, and you can't miss it. The logo's right there.
yeah.
And then you just reach us that way. You know, you can get hold of Jay. You know, Jason. I've been following you for quite some time, actually. Yeah, I miss nothing. So yeah, follow him. Just follow us on social media. There are different ways of finding people as well. Like Twitter was a good place once upon a time, although now there's so much white noise of other stuff going on. It's just,
oh my, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, I deleted my Twitter. I had two. I had the Wayne Riley one, but I had the All Knightz one. But I just deleted the Wayne. It was pointless. I wasn't getting no work from it. It wasn't really, you know, helpful. The only thing I was really using it for was just watching Kenya Mavis's status updates, her tweets, sorry. So that's all I was literally using it for. So yeah, just use social media. We've got a website as well, allknightz.com. Again, same spelling. Yeah, we're just easily reachable, man. Like it's just all over the place.
Yeah, they are everywhere, people, everywhere. Jason, you want to share where?
Yeah, exactly the same. Social media, JBEON_comics. That's JBEON, JBEON_comics, and also at the Age of Heroes and Villains. You can holler me. I manage those pages, so you can shout at me. But I am exceptionally busy, so yeah, the whole kind of can I partner with you on this, that, and the third? That ain't really gonna happen. And obviously, we do produce books for other people, but there's a cost attached, and so we're willing to work with you on that. But just kind of understand. But every now and then, I promise we will be doing more competitions, giving away more prizes, and we do use the artists that win. Yeah, so just stay posted to the page. Yeah, at the end of this month, once we've launched this new book, that's why I've not really been posting in that lately, but I'm coming back, and I'm coming back bigger, blacker, and better. So yeah, just stay posted.
I know that.
Wayne, we have a question here for you.
Go ahead.
What recommendation would you give to a foreign artist, an upcoming artist? So they're asking. No, I mean, what recommendation would you give to an upcoming an aspiring artist then?
Oh, artist as in that draws.
Yeah.
Master the basics. Like pencil and paper, do not underwrite it. I still use pencil and paper to this day. Do not get sucked into buying this software and that equipment. I know it sounds a bit hypocritical because you look behind me, but it never started like this. It started with pencil and paper. If you aren't confident enough to just draw on pencil and paper, you're going to find yourself in problems later on when certain tasks come about. If there's a power cut, if software is playing up, if your laptop ain't loading because you keep getting the blue screen and then you can't do no work. You see me, I'll just get pencil and paper and I still go on the same way. I've animated certain scenes on pencil and paper using a light box, you know, so sometimes you need those basics. So that's what I would say. Learn to master the basics, and then after that, whatever software you choose to use or whatever graphics tablet you use, that's pretty much a preference. But what you'll find is whatever industry you're in, whatever country it is, different people have their different preferences of industry standard tools. So over here, for animation, for example, even I've learned they're using a program called Cell Action 2D. That's like what a lot of the industry standard is now for like 2D cartoons, what they're doing over here. But in Jamaica, it might be something else. In other countries, it might be Adobe Animate. In other places, it might be After Effects. In other places, it might be Toon Boom. It's so many different things. But one thing,
I know Toon Boom is pretty popular out here.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Whereas
Yeah.
Toon Boom, we don't really use it here that much. Some people, well, a lot of people do use it, but for other programs, not so much. So it really fluctuates. But the thing that the thing that everything has in common, use the basics. You know, just be confident with using the basics, so you can just get on with it.
Okay, guys. So that's a wrap on this whole panel. I mean, it was amazing. I think this might be the best one yet. I mean, connecting with you guys, getting your insight, your knowledge, your teaching, your wisdom, it is amazing. And I must say, on behalf of the entire team, entire Jamaica Cosplay Club, our event, Anime Campus, and this virtual event, Anime Jam 2020 online, and Anime Con Jamaica, all of which fall under our thing. We just want to express our gratitude and appreciation for you guys to being here today with us. I mean, I know it's what night over there in London, so
it's 7:15.
Yeah, 7:15.
Yeah, so I just want to say thank you guys, and you all have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
I haven't forgotten about that list of artists, by the way.
Yeah, Wayne, do please, can you just, shoot me a little something?
Oh, I
Just
will.
shoot me
I've already
anything.
typed it
Yeah,
up.
please. Jason, you can do the same, man. Just shoot me a little
Not
something.
wrong. And
Because
listen,
we have the connection, and I will have
Yeah,
you guys in my thing. Yeah, man. Keep the link.
Listen, I'm glad to know that the comic industry is so vibrant in Yard, so much so that you lot have your own comic fest. Yo, you don't know, the thing smile, dog.
Yeah, man.
He's basically telling you that he's coming next year.
Yeah, man. Don't make sure you book from now in a Jason.
Yeah, man, me did it.
All right.
Thanks,
so
everyone.
guys, thanks again.
Thank
Felicia,
you.
Angus, thanks much. And you guys can shoot us our, a little email and stuff so we can keep the link and thing. As we have to keep the link and the bond, man. So thanks again, guys.
All right, Jason, I'm gonna inbox you.
Yeah. I'm following, so yeah, inbox me, man.
You better be.
All right.
Take care, everyone.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
And so,
School again, yes, the makeup artist Danny. I mean, yesterday we had a very
lively and fun discussion. So today we'll be having her again up next. Yeah. Guys, yes, sorry about that. So we just had a very wonderful conversation with the All Knightz team. That's Wayne, Agnes, Felicia, and with Jason Barrett from JBEON Comics. And